Have you ever pulled a plate of fried chicken out of the pan feeling proud, only to look away for 5 minutes and come back to something sad, soft, and wet? Because instead of that loud, crunchy sound you were dreaming of, your chicken makes a quiet squish? And in that moment, you ask the same painful question millions of home cooks have whispered in confusion and anger. Why is my fried chicken soggy? Because you followed the recipe, you heated the oil, you waited patiently, and yet somehow the crunch disappeared like it was never real. And this mystery has haunted kitchens for generations, passing silently from disappointed parents to frustrated kids. But the truth is that soggy fried chicken is not bad luck. It is science, moisture, timing, temperature, and tiny mistakes stacking up one by one. And the story really begins long before the chicken ever touches the oil, starting with the chicken itself, because chicken is mostly water trapped inside muscle fibers. And when heat hits it, that water wants to escape. And if it escapes at the wrong time or in the wrong way, it turns your crispy coating into a sponge. And many people don't realize that washing chicken under water before cooking actually adds extra surface moisture, making it harder for coating to stick and easier for steam to get trapped. And then comes seasoning, where salt plays a sneaky role because salt pulls moisture out of the chicken through a process called osmosis, which can be helpful if done early and allowed to dry, but disastrous if done right before frying, because now the surface of the chicken is wet again. And then comes the coating, flour, batter, breadcrumbs, or a mix of everything. And here is where most soggy disasters are born. Because if the coating is too thin, it cannot protect the chicken from steam. And if it is too thick, it traps moisture inside. And if the flour is packed too tightly, it forms a seal that turns escaping water into steam trapped under a crust. And steam is the enemy of crunch because steam softens anything it touches. And now we reach the oil, the heart of the mystery, because oil temperature decides everything. An oil that is too cool does not fry, it soaks, allowing oil to seep into the coating while water slowly escapes, creating greasy, limp chicken. While oil that is too hot burns the outside before the inside cooks, forcing you to lower the heat later and trapping steam inside the crust. And many people don't know that adding too much chicken at once drops the oil temperature instantly, turning a hot fryer into a warm oil bath. And then there is the pan itself, because shallow pans cause temperature swings, overcrowding causes steam clouds, and lids, the lids, the biggest mistake of all. Because covering fried chicken traps steam above it and rains moisture right back onto the crust, undoing all your hard work in seconds. And even if you do everything right, the final betrayal often happens after frying. When chicken is placed on paper towels, which people think is helpful, but paper towels trap steam under the chicken, making the bottom soggy while you're admiring the top. And professional cooks never do this, instead placing fried chicken on a wire rack so air can flow underneath, letting steam escape without touching the crust. And resting matters too, because fried chicken continues to release moisture after cooking. And if it has nowhere to go, it will always find the crunch and destroy it. And then there is time, because crispy chicken has a short golden window where texture is perfect. And the longer it sits without airflow, the softer it becomes, especially in humid kitchens or closed containers. And this is why takeout fried chicken loses crunch so fast. Because boxes trap heat and moisture, creating a steamy prison, and suddenly you realize that soggy fried chicken is not one mistake. It is many small choices adding up. From wet chicken to rush coating, from cold oil to crowded pans, from paper towels to covered plates. And once you understand this, the mystery stops being frustrating and starts becoming empowering, because now you know that dryness before frying is power. That letting coated chicken rest before frying helps the crust bond, that oil should be hot and stable, that frying in batches protects crunch, that wire racks save texture, and that steam must always have an escape route. And when you finally apply all of this, something magical happens. Because you lift a piece of chicken, tap it lightly, and hear that sharp crackle, you bite in, and the crunch holds. The juices stay inside, and the soggy curse is broken. And in that moment, you don't just eat fried chicken, you solve a mystery that once ruined dinners, wasted effort, and crushed confidence. And now every time you hear that crunch, you remember that it wasn't luck. It was understanding, patience, and respect for heat, moisture, and time. And that is why the question of soggy fried chicken is not just about food. It is about learning how small details decide big outcomes. In the kitchen and everywhere else.